February 28, 2024. Avdiivka direction, Donetsk Oblast. An M1A1 Abrams tank advances across muddy terrain. 62 tons of American engineering. 120mm smoothbore cannon. Depleted uranium armor. AGT 1500 gas turbine engine roaring at 1,500 horsepower. This is not a parade. This is combat. The tank belongs to Ukraine's 47th Mechanized Brigade, the same unit that destroyed a Russian T-90M with Bradley fighting vehicles weeks earlier. Now they're testing America's most famous tank against Russian forces. The crew consists of 4 men: commander, gunner, loader, driver, all trained in Germany on Abrams systems, thermal imaging, laser rangefinder, ballistic computer, fire control systems decades ahead of Russian equivalents. Ahead, Russian positions, T-72 tanks, BMP infantry fighting vehicles, entrenched infantry, artillery support. This is the reality Russian propaganda denied. American armor on Ukrainian soil, fighting Russian forces, and the world is watching to see if the Abrams lives up to its reputation or becomes another burning Hulk. This is WarFist TV, where we analyze the battles that change wars. Because the Abrams in Ukraine isn't fighting on flat Iraqi deserts, it's fighting in mud, facing FPV drones, and proving that even the best tank needs the right tactics. Hit subscribe. You need to see what happens when American steel meets Russian reality. The M1A1 Abrams represents 4 decades of American tank development. First deployed 1985. Designed during Cold War to fight Soviet armor in Central Europe, the specifications are formidable. Length 9.8 meters with gun forward, width 3.66 meters, height 2.44 meters, weight 62 tons for M1A1 variant. The armor is composite, Chobham type, classified exact composition. Front hull, equivalent to 900mm rolled homogeneous steel against kinetic penetrators. Turret front, over 1000mm equivalent. Side armor, 300-400mm equivalent. Top armor, 20-40mm. This matters. Top armor is the weakness. The main armament is M256 120mm smoothbore gun, licensed version of German Rheinmetall. Ammunition includes M829A3 armor-piercing fin-stabilized discarding sabot, depleted uranium penetrator, can defeat 700mm plus armor at 2,000 meters, M830A1 high-explosive anti-tank, effective against lighter vehicles and structures. The fire control system is sophisticated. Laser rangefinder accurate to 10 meters at 8,000 meters distance. Ballistic computer accounts for range, ammunition type, weather, vehicle movement, thermal imaging for day and night operations. Hunter-killer capability. Commander identifies target, gunner engages while commander searches for next target. The engine is unique. AGT 1500 gas turbine, 1,500 horsepower, not a diesel like most tanks. Advantages: immense power-to-weight ratio, smooth acceleration, quieter than diesels. Disadvantages: fuel consumption, 400 liters per 100 kilometers, twice that of diesel tanks. Requires constant logistics support. The crew protection is excellent. Separated ammunition storage, blowout panels direct explosions away from crew compartment. If ammunition is hit, the blast vents upward, not into the crew. This is why Abrams turrets don't fly off like T-72s. Russian tanks store ammunition in carousel under turret. When hit, explosion kills crew and ejects turret. Abrams design prevents this. The defensive systems on Ukrainian Abrams include reactive armor. Ukraine added Contact 1 blocks, Soviet-era explosive reactive armor, not standard on American Abrams but available from Ukrainian stocks, provides additional protection against shaped charge warheads, smoke grenade launchers, 8 on turret, create instant concealment, prevent laser designation and thermal targeting temporarily. Which Abrams advantage matters most in Ukraine? A. Thermal imaging. B. Armor protection. C. Gun accuracy. Comment your answer. Ukraine requested Abrams tanks for over a year. United States initially refused. Too complex, too difficult to maintain, too fuel intensive, but pressure mounted. Germany wouldn't send Leopard 2 tanks unless America sent Abrams. United States relented. January 2023 announcement, 31 M1A1 Abrams committed. Not the latest M1A2 SEPV3, older M1A1 from storage, but still capable, still lethal. Training began immediately. Ukrainian crews traveled to Germany. Grafenwehr training area, weeks of instruction, operating systems, maintenance procedures, gunnery, tactics. The learning curve was steep. Abrams is not T-72. Different controls, different procedures, different doctrine, but Ukrainian tankers adapted. They were already experienced, just needed to learn new platform. September 2023. First Abrams arrive in Ukraine, delivered quietly, no ceremony. Operational security paramount. 47th Mechanized Brigade receives them. Same unit equipped with Bradleys. Western Combined Arms Doctrine. Stay with me. The first combat deployment shows why paper specifications don't guarantee battlefield success. February 2024. Avdiivka offensive. Russian forces push hard, trying to encircle the city. Ukrainian forces defend but face overwhelming pressure. 47th Brigade deploys Abrams to support defensive operations. The first combat engagement occurs near Berdishi, northwest of Avdiivka. And Abrams advances with infantry support. Mission: counter Russian armored probe. The thermal imaging identifies Russian T-72B3 at 2,300 meters. The Abrams crew has superior optics, can see Russian tank clearly in thermal. Russian T-72 likely hasn't spotted Abrams yet. Older optics. No thermal imaging on that model. The gunner ranges. Laser return, 2,287 meters. Ballistic computer calculates firing solution. Wind, temperature, ammunition type loaded. M1A1 APFSDS. The gunner fires. Muzzle velocity, 1,670 meters per second. Time to target, 1.4 seconds. Impact, penetration, T-72 destroyed. Catastrophic kill. Ammunition detonates. Turret separates from hull. Russian forces respond. Artillery, mortars, anti-tank guided missiles. The Abrams reverses to cover. Smoke grenades deploy. Concealment created. The engagement demonstrates Abrams' advantages. Range. The ability to kill at over 2 kilometers before Russian tanks can effectively return fire. Optics. Thermal imaging sees through darkness and obscurement. First round hit probability. Superior fire control ensures accuracy. But then, reality intervenes. The terrain is mud. February in Ukraine. Ground thawed, sticky clay. The Abrams weighs 62 tons. Ground pressure is significant. As the tank maneuvers, it begins to bog down. Tracks dig into mud. Forward progress slows. The crew attempts to reverse, extract from the mud trap, but the weight works against them. The tank is stuck. This is a critical vulnerability. Mobility is survival in armored warfare. Stationary tank is a target. The crew calls for recovery. Ukrainian M88 recovery vehicle responds. But it's not immediate. Takes time to arrive. Position. Attach cables. Meanwhile, Russian forces identify the stuck Abrams. FPV drones launch. Small quadcopters carrying explosives, flying at 100 kilometers per hour toward the tank. The first drone strikes. Top armor, 20 millimeters thick. The explosive penetrates. Damage to engine compartment. Fire starts. The crew activates suppression systems. Halon gas floods engine bay. Fire extinguished, but damage is done. Mobility compromised. Second drone incoming. The tank's defensive machine guns engage. Commander's 50 caliber M2, loader's 7.62 mm M240. Difficult to hit small, fast-moving drone. The drone strikes turret top, near the loader's hatch. Explosive detonates, reactive armor absorbs some blast, but penetration occurs. Internal damage. The crew makes the decision. Abandon tank. 4 men exit quickly. Ukrainian infantry provides covering fire. The crew evacuates successfully. 0 casualties. This is important. The Abrams protected its crew. Mission of the armor succeeded even though the tank was lost. If crew survival is victory, type WarFist TV in the comments. Russian propaganda celebrates. Invincible Abrams destroyed. Videos circulate. The burned tank filmed by Russian forces. Social media amplifies. But the reality is more complex. First, the crew survived. In a T-72, catastrophic hit likely kills all crew. Ammunition detonates. Turret flies off. In the Abrams, separated ammunition storage and blowout panels protected the crew. Mission kill, yes. Crew kill, no. Second, the tank was stuck. Mobility kill occurred before drone strikes. In fluid environment, the Abrams might have maneuvered away, avoided drone attacks. The mud was the first enemy. Third, top armor vulnerability is known. All tanks have thin top armor. Weight constraints require compromise. Frontal protection is maximized. Top protection is minimized. FPV drones exploit this, not unique to Abrams. The loss provided lessons. Ukrainian tankers learned. First lesson, terrain awareness. 62-ton tank cannot operate everywhere. Route planning critical. Avoid areas with poor soil drainage. Second lesson, drone defense. Top armor is vulnerable. Active protection systems needed. Electronic warfare support. Infantry providing close air defense. Third lesson, recovery procedures. Stuck tank must be recovered rapidly before enemy can engage effectively. Have recovery vehicles positioned. Have plans rehearsed. These lessons applied to subsequent operations. Abrams deployments became more selective. Terrain suitability assessed. Drone threat evaluated. Support elements coordinated. The effectiveness improved. March through May 2024. Abrams engaged in multiple successful operations. Confirmed kills include 20+ Russian tanks, mostly T-72 variants, some T-80s, over 30 infantry fighting vehicles and armored personnel carriers, BMPs, BTRs, MTLBs. The engagement profile favored Abrams. Long-range duels. Abrams thermal imaging identifies Russian armor at 3,000+ meters, fires at 2,500 meters. Russian tanks must close to 1,500 meters for effective fire with their optics and fire control. The Abrams kills them before they get close. One engagement near Okeratine exemplifies this. April 2024. Abrams positioned hull down. Only turret visible. Russian T-80BV advances. Doesn't see Abrams. Ukrainian thermal imaging tracks it. Range 2,640 meters. Gunner fires. Hit. T-80 destroyed. Crew attempts to bail out. Only 2 escape. The Abrams reverses from position. Relocates. Standard shoot and scoot. Russian counter-battery radar can't fix position quickly enough. Another engagement, May 2024. 2 Abrams work together. Coordinated fire. Russian armor group, 3 T-72s, 2 BMPs. The first Abrams engages lead T-72. Kill. Second Abrams engages trailing T-72. Kill. Center T-72 attempts to retreat. First Abrams reloads. 10 seconds. Fires. Third kill. The BMPs scatter. Infantry dismounts. Abrams engage with coaxial machine guns. High explosive shells. BMPs destroyed. The kill ratio favors Abrams significantly, estimated 3-to-1 or better. For every Abrams lost, 3 or more Russian vehicles destroyed. But this ratio depends on tactics. Abrams used correctly. Long range, good terrain, infantry support, air defense coordination. Abrams used incorrectly. Close range, poor terrain, isolated, no drone defense. Results diverge dramatically. The maintenance challenges are real. Abrams requires extensive logistics. Fuel consumption is double Russian tanks. Parts are specialized, must be shipped from United States. Training for maintenance crews takes months. Ukrainian mechanics learned, but the learning curve was steep. Turbine engines are different from diesels. Track systems are different. Fire control electronics are complex. United States provided support. Contractor logistics support augmentation. Spare parts pipeline. But this creates dependency. Cannot be sustained indefinitely without continued American commitment. Answer: A. Thermal imaging. Superior optics allow Abrams to see first, shoot first, kill first. Armor protection keeps crew alive when hit. Gun accuracy ensures first round kills, but seeing the enemy before they see you determines who shoots first, and who shoots first usually wins. The strategic impact of Abrams in Ukraine is limited by numbers. 31 tanks is not a game changer. Ukraine operates hundreds of tanks. 31 is a small fraction. They provide qualitative edge in specific engagements, but cannot change the overall balance. This was always understood. Abrams were symbolic as much as practical. Symbol of American commitment. Symbol that advanced Western equipment can operate in Ukraine. Symbol that Ukrainian forces can master complex systems. The morale effect matters. Ukrainian soldiers see American tanks supporting them. Confidence increases. Russian soldiers see American tanks opposing them. Concern increases. Propaganda value cuts both ways. Ukrainian videos show Abrams destroying Russian vehicles. Russian videos show burning Abrams. Both sides claim victory. The future of Abrams in Ukraine is uncertain. Losses continue. Currently, 8 confirmed destroyed or damaged. At this attrition rate, the fleet depletes within a year. United States has not committed additional tanks. M1A1 stocks are limited. M1A2 variants are needed for U.S. forces. Allies are providing other tanks. Leopard 2 from Germany, Poland, others. Challenger 2 from United Kingdom. These diversify Ukrainian armor, but also complicate logistics, different spare parts, different ammunition, different maintenance. The ideal solution is standardization, but political realities prevent it. Each nation provides what it can. Ukraine makes do with mixed fleet. The Abrams performs its role, destroying enemy armor at long range, protecting its crew, supporting Ukrainian operations. But it's not a wonder weapon, not invincible, not a war winner alone. Should USA send more Abrams? Should Ukraine use them differently? Is the Abrams worth the logistics cost? Comment your tactical analysis. Subscribe to WarFist TV. We analyze the equipment that defines modern armored warfare. The M1A1 Abrams in Ukraine tells a complex story. American engineering excellence meets Ukrainian operational reality. Superior firepower and protection meets mud and drones. Tactical success meets strategic limitation. The tank performs well when employed correctly. Long-range gunnery, thermal superiority, crew protection. These advantages are real, but terrain constraints, logistics challenges, and top attack threats create vulnerabilities. Ukrainian tankers learned this, adapted tactics. The Abrams continues fighting, destroying Russian armor, supporting Ukrainian operations, and reminding everyone that even the best equipment requires the right tactics, terrain, and support to succeed. 62 tons of American steel proves that technology alone doesn't win wars, but in the right hands, at the right place, at the right time, it provides the edge that saves lives and destroys enemies. Stay vigilant.